All right, for this practice, grab 2 blocks. We're going to practice a Yin Vin Flow. We're going to start with some Yin postures. I'm going to use 2 blocks at the top of my mat. I'm going to put them on their second height, and you can angle them as much as you'd like, or it's because your head's going to come down here. So just make space for your head, and your elbows are going to come on these blocks. So I'm going to start in tabletop, elbow, elbow. And then I'm going to walk my knees back. Don't fall off those blocks. And then start to bend my elbows behind with my thumbs coming to my upper back, and then forehead down to the floor. Your feet, they can be tucked under, or you can flip your toes back. And then don't force your head down to the floor. And just let it soften with your breath. Each inhale, you might feel a lift, softness in the shoulders, and each exhale, a dropping in, but again, not forcing. And then see if you can soften your thighs a little bit here, your face and jaw as well, so you're not gripping your legs, and you're not gripping your upper body. If your hands are pressing together in prayer, it's a gentle press. It's not forceful or overworking. If you practice Ujjayi, this is a good place to incorporate it. Nice deep inhale through your nose. And then that hushing sound in the back of your throat as you exhale. You could also take your hands and just take your hands to opposite shoulders here if that prayer pose is putting too much pressure on your wrists or on your shoulders. If your fingers are getting a little tingly, take your palms to opposite, fingers to opposite shoulders. And you may need to just lift up out of this once in a while. Every 3 or 4 breaths, take a little lift. And coming to your elbows. And then after a moment there, you can push back. And try to incorporate a pause between each breath. And so when you exhale, pause. And then inhale. And pause. And exhale. And keep going. Okay, next inhale, start to take your thumbs away from your upper back and come up into those elbows on the block. Crawl your knees in, and then take your weight off your elbows and sit down on your heels and just let your hands rest. Feel your shoulders reset, maybe even take a few little shoulder shrugs and circles up and back. Move your head around a little if that feels good. Roll your head on your neck and shoulders. right, next we'll come into lizard lunge. I'm going to use those 2 blocks at the top of my mat. And from tabletop pose, I'm going to step my right foot forward. Left knee moves back. You can start with your knee inside of your arms, inside of your right arm. You can take those blocks higher if you'd like. Focus on your breath here. And then you could also modify this, change it up a little bit if you want to add in the walking out with your right leg. Your right hand comes inside of your right foot, and your hands remain shoulders spacing apart. And play with your block placement if you want them higher or lower. And pull your chest through your shoulders, open your heart as you inhale, stretch back through your left big toe, and keep a push down into your right heel. And you could also then add on a little bit more here if you'd like, elbows down to those blocks. Try to keep your right toes pointing straight forward. And also your chest opening through your shoulders. I'm going to take mine down to a lower level. Don't like the stability of that second height, it's too wobbly. My right knee, my right thigh can wing out a little bit, and if you really need to, you can turn the toes out slightly, but try not to pull the inner foot up. Try to push down into the ball of the right foot and not let that foot fall open. So you may even need to take the foot out a little farther. Okay, I'm going to start to come out of this now. I'm going to walk that right foot back in, and then I'm going to take my hips back a little bit so I've got space to move my right foot coming back into the center with my right foot. I'm going to straighten out my right leg for a half split here, and then here you can just kind of turn your toes to the side and over, just kind of sway your hips a little side to side. All right, and then back into tabletop pose, and then the second side. Left foot forward. I'm going to start with the lunge between my hands, and I'm coming to the tallest level of blocks here, chest through. So right here, I'm just kind of feeling out the right hip, seeing where it is right now. It may not go any deeper than this. And you're welcome to stay here for the next couple minutes. And then if you'd like, you can walk your left foot open to the side. Hands come inside of that left foot. And again, I'm going to take these down to the second height. Hands right on those blocks under my shoulders. So I'm walking the left foot over far enough so I've got room to line my left hand under my left shoulder. And stay here on your hands, or you can come down to your elbows. Breathe up into the tips of your lungs. Keep that chest open and try not to lock your elbows out here. And play with where you're looking, where your gaze is, if it's up or down. It's going to maybe make a difference to the hip opener or to your spinal sensation. Just make sure there's no pain in your low back. I'm going to take these blocks down so I can now come to my elbows. And then again, if you need to step the foot out a little bit or turn it out, just keep the ball of your left foot down on the floor and the inner left heel pushing down. I'm going to make sure your chest is still able to open through your heart. Or through your shoulders. So chest through your shoulders, heart opening. And the next few breaths, I'm going to prepare to come up to hands again off those elbows. I just like to ease my way out of it instead of shooting out of it. So just a couple breaths here with my hands on the blocks, arms straight. And then I'm going to start to walk the hands out so my foot can come back in. And pull it back into a half split. And then again here you can take those movements side to side, twisting the hips around, resetting that hip, front of the right hip, back of the left hip, inner left hip. Nice little stretch there you got. So take a little reset. And then come into tabletop. Move into Sphinx pose next. I'm going to come down into a belly lying position, pronated, and I'm going to have my blocks handy there. So option 1 for Sphinx is to come down to your elbows with your elbows directly under your shoulders. Point your toes back and pull your chest through. Engage your thighs, lift your knees. If you'd like your elbows on those blocks, take the blocks in. Forearms on the blocks. And again, just make sure they're not too close together so you're not rounding in. You have enough space that you can pull your chest through your shoulders by using your elbows on the blocks or your forearms, and imagine pulling yourself up and back. Or up and through. So you're pulling back on the blocks, pulling your chest through. If this is crunchy on your hips, if you feel like your hips are digging into the floor, you can put a blanket under your hips here. Keep engaging your thighs, lifting your kneecaps. Breathe up into the upper back so it's not pinching or collapsing. And take your hands together in prayer pose. If you feel like your hands are just kind of like fidgety, I don't know what to do with them. Just another few rounds of breath here, just about 5 more. So see if you can soften your shoulders in the last few rounds of breath. Just a little bit, they're working. Start to drop your chin in towards your chest. I'm going to take one block out, elbow down, the other block out, elbow down. Drop your chin, pull your belly button up. Release your low back here. Okay. And then you can take your hands underneath your shoulders and start to push up, tabletop pose. I'm going to come forward into a standing forward bend, so use your blocks here. Set them up at the top of your mat so that when you tuck your toes under and start to walk your feet forward, if you need those blocks for your hands, they're there, especially after that back bend if it's really intense. Don't force yourself into a deep forward bend here. You can also take your elbows down to those blocks and let your head hang.
Okay, push down into your heels. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samastitihi, standing pose. Feet together. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward bend, Uttanasana. Step your left leg back as you inhale and come into high lunge, Ashtha Chandrasana. Inhale, reach your arms. Exhale here, find your balance. Okay, inhale, lift your chest and start to lower your arms and lift your right knee. And then on your inhale, reach your arms, bend your right knee, open your chest. So let's do that. Exhale, hands down. And straighten the right leg. Exhale. And inhale, bend your right knee, lift your arms, lift your chest. Exhale. Inhale. Left leg is very strong. One more time. Exhale. And inhale. Hover over your right leg. Exhale, take your arms back. Left hand down. Inhale, circle your right arm forward and up, twist. Exhale here, reach back. Inhale. And exhale, hand down, step forward. Uttanasana. Grab elbows and hang here. Okay, inhale, push into your feet, reach your arms up. You can take a bent knee press up or a straight leg. Exhale, release your arms. Samastitihi. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, forward bend, Uttanasana. Step your right foot back. High lunge, pull it up. Inhale, Ashtha Chandrasana, find your balance. Soften your trapezius, upper back, upper neck muscles, soften down. Okay, inhale here. Straighten your left leg, lower your arms, go slowly so you don't knock yourself over. Squeeze that right thigh a lot, and then inhale, bend your left knee, reach your arms, and lift your chest. Exhale. Push your left foot into the mat. Pull your left kneecap up. Ooh, I'm wobbling. There I go. Bend your left knee. Inhale. Pulse. One side is definitely easier. And exhale. Press your left leg straight. Arms down. Inhale. Here, exhale, right hand down. Hover, actually. Hover. And then I just want to get out of that. Inhale, stretch your left hand forward, right hand down. Circle your left arm up. Open your chest. And then exhale here, stretch back. Inhale here. Exhale, left hand down. And step forward. Uttanasana. Exhale. Push into the floor. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Step back into goddess squat. Turn your right toe, left toe, both of them out, all of them out, all 10 of them. Bend your knees in the direction of your toes, the second toes especially. Hands to heart. Dropping your sit bones not lower than your knees. And pushing your sit bones back and then pulling them under with your core. All All right, you're gonna take your left hand and right hand up. Exhale, tap your right leg, left arm over. Inhale. Exhale, tap your left leg, right arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, right leg. Left arm over. Inhale, center. Exhale, left leg. Tap, tap. Right hand over. Center. Press to straight legs. Turn your heels back out behind your toes. Exhale, forward bend. Prasarita Padottanasana. Push down into your feet. Let your torso get heavy. You might even just let your arms reach out, flip your palms up. But your thighs are engaged, pressing down into all the surface areas of your feet that are touching the ground. Zip your belly in. Engage your core to take your head closer towards the floor. Inhale, come up into a half lift. Turn your right toes to point to the back of your mat, and then bend your right knee. Take your left heel and move it back away from your left big toe. And see if your heels line up. Warrior two. Virabhadrasana B. Reach your hands just to shoulder height or slightly above. Inhale, straighten your right leg, reach your arms. Maybe even look up. Exhale, bend your right knee and push your hands down. Inhale, reach, get higher, lift. Exhale, bend, get lower, bend that right knee, press back through your left foot. One more inhale. And exhale. Straighten that right leg, turn your right toes back in. Now lift your heels and take your heels in again. Got a squat. Shins are vertical, knees pointing in the second toe direction, hips slightly higher than your knees. Zip your belly and pull the sit bones under a little, so your low back is not rounded or flat. Arms reach. Inhale here and then exhale. Karate chop, left leg with your right hand. Inhale, open your arms, lift your chest. Exhale, karate chop. Make the sound if you need. Inhale, come up. Exhale, slice it over. Inhale, exhale. Right hand's just reaching behind. Inhale, one more each side. Exhale. Inhale, center. Last one. Exhale. And inhale up. Then press legs straight. Turn those heels out. Exhale, forward bend. Prasarita Padottanasana. Never felt so good. Okay, lift up, inhale. Look at that second side warrior two. So turn your left toes forward. Turn that right foot back a little bit more, squiggle it back so it's longer. You've got a nice big space between your feet. Heels line up. Inhale, warrior two. Stretch your arms out. Push down into your left heel. Press back with that right foot. Squeeze the upper back muscles, not your shoulder blades, the muscles. And then on your inhale, press the leg straight, left leg, reach up. Challenge your balance, maybe by even looking up, or even close your eyes here if you'd like. Exhale. Bend your left knee. Resist back with your right leg. Lift your chest through your shoulders. Inhale, straighten your left leg, push up. Push into that right heel when you press up so your hips don't tilt back. Exhale, bend the left knee. One more. Inhale, press the leg straight. Reach up. And exhale. Good. Straighten your left leg. Turn your left toes and heel toe your feet together. And then come back to the top of your mat. Samastitihi. Standing pose. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Inhale. Exhale, forward bend, Uttanasana. Step back plank pose, first chaturanga. So if you want knees down, and then thighs, and then hips, and then belly, or go straight leg. Point your toes back, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Look forward, step forward, right leg, left heel down, bend that left, or bend the right knee. Inhale, warrior one. Arms both reach up, chest reaches up. Exhale, humble warrior, hands behind. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach back up. Humble warrior, warrior with your hands up. Exhale, left hand down. Side plank, knee can come to the floor, left knee, or right foot can stay as a kickstand. Left hip pushes down, so try not to lift it up like a rainbow. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. You can take chaturanga here if you want. I'm just gonna go to the second side. Left foot forward, right heel down. Bend your left knee. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale, hands behind, interlace your fingers, open your chest. Push into the outer right foot, press it down, lift your inner right foot. Forward bend here, humble, halfway. Keep that right thigh squeezed, left knee bent. Inhale, warrior one, reach your arms back up. Exhale, hands down, right hand slightly in front of your shoulder. Again, your right knee can come down, turn to the outside of your right foot, and either use your left leg as a kickstand or on top of your right ankle. Lift your outer right ankle up, press the outer right hip down. And then again, exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And again, if you want that chaturanga, plank pose, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. And step or hop forward, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Inhale. Press to straight leg stand. Exhale. Inhale, reach your arms, Urdhva. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Step your left leg back, lower your left knee down. Take the blocks with you, one block especially. Left hand I'm gonna keep on the left block. I'm not gonna use that second block, but you can use both if you want. You can simply stay here and take a one leg camel pose. I'm gonna take half camel here with my left hand coming back to the block, and then lift chest up to the ceiling. My left fingertips point back on the block to open up the left armpit. I'm twisted off to the left a little bit, let it happen. No big deal. Good, and then start to zip in with your core. Come back up. Use your blocks if you'd like. Tuck those left toes, push up, exhale, forward bend, ease into it. And then right leg steps back, right knee down. So again, you can take those two blocks with you and keep this lunge like a little camel lunge. Or you can start to take the block back behind. I'm gonna lower it down second height, right in line with my calf. Right fingertips point back, and I'm letting my chest zip off to the side because my right hip is kind of pointing that way. No big deal. Lift your arm, open the right armpit, push your right big toes back, bend the left knee forward. Use your core to pull up, inhale, hands down. Left knee back this time. Big toes touch, knees out. Child's pose. I'm gonna keep my hands on the blocks. I like it. Let your hips drop back even further towards your heels. Then inhale up to kneeling so that you can situate yourself on your mat in a reclining position. Come down on your back. Knees to chest. Good. Open your arms out to the side. Twist to the right or the left, either way. And breathe into that belly, breathe in from your belly up to those left ribs so you can feel your left shoulder rise and fall with the breath. So you're not pushing your left shoulder down to the floor. It's just very dynamic, very free moving. All right, and then up through center, get that second side twist in, hug your knees into your chest, and then go off to the left. Open your arms. You can let your gaze move wherever you feel that it actually feels best in your body. So maybe it's up to the ceiling or out to your left hand or out to your right hand. But either way, that right shoulder is mobile so that you can breathe, big breath in and feel it lift as you inhale and exhale, sink without pushing it down. And then come back to center. And then just take a moment to set yourself up in Shavasana if you want those two blocks under the backs of your legs to release the hips and the back. You just a lot of back bending, front hip opening. So this helps to just kind of reset those femurs back down in the hip joint. Good job, yogis. Thank you. Please take as long as you've got here to rest. And as always, when you end your practice, bow to you and tell yourself thank you and good job.